On this episode of Street Rat Garage, I forgot to make an intro for my video, so I'm going to do it now from Hawaii. So, next up is the 1968 Caprice that we bought from the auction. So, enjoy the video. So we are on the way back to the shop with our 1968 Chevy Caprice that we bought from the auction and may or may not have overpaid for, but it's a cool car. It's been sitting for about 18 years and it needs a second life, second chance on life. So I bought this car, I bid $1,500 on it. So with auction fees, taxes, and like a $45 credit card fee for, you know, paying for it online and making everybody's life way easier, I was charged an extra $45. Thank you very much. The total came to about $1,900, which you got to think about these things when you're bidding on cars. $1,500 was like probably the top, and then I got hit with all those auction fees that I totally forgot about because I got excited bidding, which you need not to do. But anyway, we still got a cool car for not a whole lot of money, and we got a lot of good content we can make out of it. So right now I am on my way to the car wash. We're going to blow this thing off and see what it looks like underneath. Now the very first thing you want to do is take your car directly to the car wash and get off all that nasty, yucky stuff so you can see what exactly you're looking at. It's a little bit dark in here, but you should be able to see all the grime, the mold, the moss, all the nasty stuff that this car has accumulated from its 18, 19, whatever years of sitting around. I'm just going to take a little bit of time, blow some of this stuff off, and then we'll come back and have a look at it and see just how bad it is. All right, let's do a quick time lapse and get this thing cleaned off real quick. That is a quick wash down. So let's get it back to the shop and have a look. Okay, so with the car wash all taken care of, we're headed back to the shop. We're gonna unload this car and then we'll do a walk around on it real quick, take a peek underneath the hood, get an idea of what we need to do. The goal today is to get this thing cleaned up at least a little bit and get it running. At least get it started, see what it sounds like, make sure the engine and transmission are functioning or not functioning, one of the two, and make us a to-do list, everything that we need to do in the future to make this a running and driving car once again. All right, we made it back to Street Rat Garage Worldwide Headquarters with our 1968 Caprice. Now, what should we do? Where should we start? Well, let's start with a walk around, see how good that car wash did. Car wash. Okay, well, the first thing I see is this 327 emblem, which when I bought this car, I was looking on the other side and we didn't see the emblem, so I didn't know exactly what it had in it, but oh, it does say 327. Huh. So I guess that was so dirty that we couldn't read the fact that it actually says 327 on it, but it said it on the air cleaner. So this is helping to verify that it's an actual 327 engine, unless somebody swapped out the engines and, you know, it doesn't have it anymore. What's this say? B-A-L? I don't know. Somebody's initials? Couldn't see that at all, but has some rust. Oh, that's fixed. Okay, well, not so bad anymore. And as you can see, 2006 on the license plate, so that's about 18 years, right? Depending on when you watch this, I guess. But this side is so much worse. It is clapped out. So there's a couple comments in the comment section of the auction where I bought this. If you didn't see that, I bought it at auction, Indiana Public Auto Auction, and we went through and we bid on this, and I think we did a okay job. I mean, it could have been better. We definitely could have bought it better, I think, but has some rust here. But there was some people saying, you know, why would you buy a clapped out old car like that? Well, because I like clapped out old cars like this. Yeah, that is the main reason that I bought this vehicle. Plus, you know, it's a four-door. Four-doors don't get a whole lot of love anymore. But, you know, we're running out of the two-door cars, and everybody wants to part out these four-door cars, or demolition derby on back in the old days. So we don't have a whole lot of these guys left anymore. So what is wrong with putting these things back together, putting them back on the road? Don't have to make them super nice. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money on this car at all. We're going to get it running, get it driving, and hopefully get it stopping. But overall, the wash job, it came out okay. I missed some spots because it's on the trailer. There's still some green on it, but we can hit this with a buffer. But the paint is dull. It is so dull on this car. And there's some ground in dirt there that I can't get out because the paint's also cracked. I mean, this needs a wet sand, probably would be the best thing to do to it. But you can see there's scratches and cracks all in the paint. It hasn't been washed sat for 20 or 18 years. It probably hasn't been washed for over 20 years. So it's got a scratch on it. That's the least of the worries. So I'm going to go ahead, get this thing off the trailer real quick, pop the hood, and we'll jump right into trying to get this thing to fire up, maybe, hopefully. All right, I got it pushed off the trailer. The brakes are really stiff, so that took some doing. Now, hood's open. Let's look at this engine and let's see what we got going on here. Now, for the people that did not see the auction video, I had looked at this engine and I didn't crank it over, but I turned it over by hand about a half a revolution or so just to make sure the engine wasn't locked up. So we already know the engine's not locked up. We're pretty sure it has a 327 in it. It says 327 here on the air breather. It says 327 on the side skirts. Now, it should be a 327 unless somebody switched out the engines at some point, which it's so original underneath here. It just does not look like it. Everything is correct, and nothing looks like it's been taken apart and only half put back together. All right, let's look and see what we got underneath of here. Ooh, a quadrijet. Yeah, and not that much mouse activity. Is this? Yeah, just a nest. Thought it might have been a mouse skeleton, but that's pretty good for as long as it's been sitting. But we're definitely going to want to take this out and not dump any of that junk down into the carburetor. Let's just clean that out real good. We definitely have plenty of things that have been living underneath of there, and it was underneath one of those trees with a little helicopter things on it. We're gonna vacuum this out and get all this junk out from underneath of there so we don't start a fire from when it backfires or just warms up. Yeah, all right, clean some of this junk out of here real quick. There is a lot of it too. All right, that looks way better. Oh, look, the return spring is rusted off of it, so we're gonna have to be careful about revving that up unless we can find a new return spring. Well, at least the linkage worked pretty good. I bet it doesn't have any accelerator pump though. All right, the next thing I want to do is yoink this battery out of here real quick. It will drop us in a hot battery and see what it has. Well, it's got a go handle on it at least. EverStart Max. So this was an awesome battery, 3-year warranty. Pretty sure that's expired by now. I can't find a date on it though. What year? 1,000 cold cranking amps. Wow. Seems like the batteries were better back then. Are the EverStart still 1,000 cold cranking amps? I don't know. Maybe we should take this back. I'm pretty sure this is Walmart. And man, these terminals are really nice on here. Probably is not going to charge back up after all these years, but I think this battery is better than the ones they sell now. Okay, let's throw in our Rural King battery, which is actually cheaper than our Walmart battery, and I really think it's made by the same manufacturer, and they just put a different sticker on it because they are remarkably similar in design. I mean, pretty much identical. I'm pretty sure that they just take, most people buy from the same manufacturer and just stick their batteries in it and charge, you know, more prices because, you know, it's from Walmart or it's from Interstate Battery or what have you. So yeah, got the battery hooked up. Let's see if this will crank over. Okay, I'm actually gonna sit in this nasty car, I guess. Man, I should have cleaned out the interior first. It's so gross in here. In park, let's give the key a turn and see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Shift to neutral. Nothing. There's a little bit of sound there. Nope, nothing. Okay, well, first things first, let's check and make sure we have power in the battery. Just because you have a new battery doesn't mean you have power, but we have 12.6 volts. That should be more than enough to turn it over. All right, well, I've been underneath the car and I can see the starter and the solenoid. So I'm gonna try this short across the solenoid to see if this will turn over real quick. It's a lot easier to do on these older cars than the newer ones because you got so much more room. But if I can find it here, oop, that wasn't it. Come on. There she goes. All right, she's cranking over. I'm just gonna crank it a few times, let a little bit of the oil pressure build up and go through the engine. It's got a little bit of a gallop there. A little bit of a gallop there. It shouldn't have, but that's to be expected. So that sounded pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Now that we know our engine cranks over, not by the key, but we can make it crank over, we're going to assume that we don't have any spark because it's been sitting so long, and this is a points system. Anytime you let a points car sit around, especially outside, the points corrode up. You get moisture all inside the cap. The points corrode up and you lose your spark. You lose your spark to your points, you lose your spark to your spark plugs. So you can almost guarantee that there's not going to be any fire to the points. All right, I took the rotor cap off. There's our points there. They're a little bit different than the points I usually mess with. It's like that condenser capacitor housing is the ground. The capacitor is on the other side there, and it just moves. You can't really see it from this side, but you can hear. You can't hear it sparking. So there's no spark at the points right now. So we need to grab a little sandpaper, get in between there, sand those points down so it makes gets rid of the corrosion off of there. So we make the little snappy sound and get some spark going. Okay, I had to go ahead and just take the points out because I could not get sandpaper in there. Can you see? I can't even remember seeing a set of points like this. I hope you're able to see it, but the points are right up against this capacitor capacitor right here, and I can't get any sandpaper in there, at least on the car. I should be able to get a little bit in between there and get these sparking again, hopefully, because I do not want to try to go to the parts store and ask for a set of points for a 1968 Caprice with a 327 in it. The last time I asked for points from a parts store, the kid asked, what do they do? What's it for? You know, what are points? I think that's exactly what he said. It's like, what are points? I'm not sure how to explain that. It's like asking what a spoon is. So yeah, let's sand these down and see if we can't get them sparking again. Okay, we got the points put back in, and I'm going to leave the microphone right here so you can hear whether it's snapping or not. Now I'm going to go ahead, and the key started working. A lot of times if you put power to it and crank it over, the electronics start to come back around. You know, they have corrosion on them, and you know, sending juice back through them, it's like cleaning out lines. It starts working again. So I'm going to crank it over real quick. So you stay right there and listen, see if you can hear that. All right. So I know you can hear it because I heard it, and we got it cranking over again. Now I'm going to put the distributor cap back on there. We're going to add some gasoline to it. So we got spark, and we need fuel next. So let's deliver it some fuel and see if the spark is going down to the spark plugs. That might be the only other problem. The inside of the cap, it looks okay. Hopefully it's going to be good enough, because that might be a hard find as well, to find an old cap like this. Now I'm just going to take this little bottle and fill up these float bowls right here. There's a vent on the top of carburetors, especially quadrajets, and you can just squeeze it right in and fill up the float bowls, and hopefully not have to worry about not worry about making a mess. But I made a little bit of a mess. Pour some down the throat there. All right, it is time to see if she will make some noise. Do I have pedal from the inside? Yeah, but I gotta remember I don't have any return spring, so I don't want to have it revving up too high. Okay, I changed my mind. I did find a return spring in one of the boxes back there, so let's put this on, because that throttle was not returning at all. So let's put this on and then we'll try it. Okay, return spring is on, so let's give it a try now. So, oh yeah, there we go. Now it's returning. Let's give it a crank. Oh, come on. Oh, it made some noise. Let's put you in a little bit closer there so you can see better. Come on. Oh, wants to start. Come on. That was kind of a start. Oh, she wants to go. Needs more gas, huh? The choke is also not closing all the way. And the little plastic stoppers are breaking off. I'm trying to get it to close a little bit more. And it's just stuck right there. So there we go. There we go. Now it's more closed. I don't think it's going to adjust, but as long as it's closed more, it should help it start. Let's hit it with a little bit more gasoline here. There we go. Let's give it another crank. Come on. Come on. Man, so close. Come on, that was running already. Come on. Ugh. Okay, what I think's going on here is every time I let go of the key, when I think it's going to start running, it just dies. So apparently there's still some ignition problems. So it's giving it power through the cranking phase, but when we go back to the accessories phase, no power is going through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to jumper wire it from the battery to the coil, so it has just power all the time. Then we'll just have to pull the coil wire to get it to stop running, or wait until it runs out of fuel, one of the two. So I'm going to take a jump wire, go from the battery right to the positive on the coil, but right back here is a sort of a loom wire, sort of almost a cloth wire, and it's a resistor wire. So what that does is these old coils, they can't stand 12 volts, so we can't run 12 volts to it. So it has a special resistor wire that lowers the amperage to like something like 9 or something like that. I can't remember exactly how many volts it is, but we can't, if we put this, we'll burn the coil right out of there. So I'm going to strip back this wire a little bit, connect this 12 volt to it, and then we'll give it a try. Okay, our jumper wire is attached, so we got a steady 12 volts going in there. I added some more fuel to the float bowls, and I'll give it a few pumps here. Let's see what we got. Oh, just like that. Come on. Well, that sounds awful. It is definitely got some misses in it, but at least it is running, so we know it runs. I'm going to check a few things out, see if we got any loose spark plug wires anywhere, and see if we can't smooth it out a little bit. We're missing a cylinder or two. Okay, I checked a few things. I really don't see any bad spark plug wires. We could have fouled plugs, which probably we do. Poured a little more gas in it, just wiggled some things around. Let's see if we get any more out of it. All right, here we go again. I'm hearing a noise I don't like. Okay, that little bit of a knocking sound I think is because the lifters are not pumped up. So I run it a couple more times. It's starting to come back around. I think that noise is dissipating. So the lifters, when they sit for a long time, the oil drains out of the lifters and they collapse. I'm gonna start this up again real quick, hopefully, maybe. Oh, come on. Well, oh, I didn't plug the battery back in. Well, but yeah, the lifters are collapsed, and they need to run for a little bit. Let that oil get back into them so the valves open up. I think that's why we have that miss right now and that noise. Come on. Come on. See, I ran it a couple more times and that noise is going away. I can't even really hear it, but we still have our miss. So, and I moved the car a little bit too. So we have the transmission. It'll go forwards and backwards. But now I can't get it to go back to its original position because it doesn't have enough power. But it's starting to rev up a little bit better now. So that's a good thing. Add a little bit more. Keep going, keep going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Get some of this gas. There we go. Keep running. Keep running. Get those lifters pumped up. Whoops, too much. All right. Let's give it a few more revs there. Oh, that's better. Definitely better. Still missing though. Oh, not as much. That's lean. When you start to run out of gas, you go a little bit lean and you pop there a little bit. That's all that was. Okay, I added gas again. I'd like to move it back to where I had it originally. Come on. There it goes. Come on. Oh. Oh, so bad. It won't go uphill. The brakes are a little bit stiff and it's uphill, so it just doesn't have enough to pull itself. So looks like we're gonna do our cleanup right in this spot. But definitely sounds better. It's gonna need a few heat cycles to get the rings back in. I saw a little puff out of the valve cover, so it's leaking a little compression into the crankcase. All right, definitely getting and coming around more. It's just gonna have to sit there in that oil that's come up and let those lifters pump up a lot better. So let's go ahead and let's grab the old buffer and start cleaning this thing up a little bit. It helps get me motivated when the car looks a little bit better. I mean, we took it to the car wash, knocked off the algae and junk off of it, but it's just not shiny. I mean, it is dull. Let's look at that real quick. See how dull this paint is. I mean, it's just awful. It is oxidized from all those years of sitting. But we can bring this back out with hitting it with the highest grit buffing compound that we can find. Look at that. The transmission fluid is just leaking out of there. It's got a bad line somewhere. We're gonna have to fix that, but this'll come out. Look at that. Look how bad that is right there. It is a mess. Years and years. This roof is huge. That's never fun to do. The doors, the quarter panels, and the trunk lid, the giant trunk lid. That'll be fun to buff out, but it will look a lot better once we are done. Okay, we're about ready to get started on the buffing. Now, this sucker is red, and red is always a good color to buff out because it oxidizes really hard. But once you get that shine back, it's quite delightful. I think we're gonna do a time lapse on this. It goes so much faster when we do that. Ready? Let's go. Well, the paint on this it's awful. I mean, it is so oxidized, it's taking me forever, but it looks so much better. Look at the shine on that. Way, way better than what it was before. It's not perfect. I'm probably gonna have to go through it a couple more times, but you can see from the hood to here how much of a difference that made. So I have to finish up the rest of the car, and I'll do that another time, but this is some good motivation right here, and this is what we have to look forward to. Okay, going to put this away now. I think I've been working on this all day, even though it doesn't seem like that because of editing, and we're gonna start it up one more time and put it into its resting spot. See if she starts again. Hopefully she starts again. There we go. See, she'll move. Now she goes forward downhill just fine. There we go. Oh yeah, we don't have any brakes, so there's that. Well, it runs and it drives, so we got something accomplished. We bought the car, we got it transported down here, we cleaned it up a little bit, got it running again. Got it running and moving again. So this is not the end of this project car. Next time we come, we're gonna drive this on the road, hopefully. We need some brakes. The brakes are hard as a rock. We have to do something with those and get that mess out of it. Tune up, brakes, maybe clean out the interior, patch the hole in the floor. All those good things will be coming up on the next episode of Street Rag Garage. Until next time.